What up, world? Back again. It is the Country Rap Report. Yours truly, VicXL.
What up, it's your dude, Spank.
Man, you never cease to raise the energy. You just always just gonna be.
That's all. That's all. It's me all the time. Every
You
time,
ever
even when you see me in public, this is me all the time.
do you ever get excited?
It'd be nerd stuff, like technology or something like that. But that stuff, it's nerd stuff that excites me. This stuff, not saying that it isn't exciting, but that's
Yeah,
the stuff that really gets me
don't,
going.
don't, don't. Yeah, because the last time you were here, the last time you was here. Shout out to everybody that watches the show.
Right.
But the last time you was here,
Oh, you got some
it
feedback?
made it made matter of fact, before we get into these videos,
Hmm.
it made some people feel like I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna speak for the people
Okay.
because this is be a question they would ask.
Right.
There are people who feel like maybe you don't care about the genre because you mentioned that you haven't listened to the genre in a while. So
Well,
there are people,
that's
huh?
valid. That's valid. That's
There
valid.
are people who want to feel like, look, we know what this guy brought to the table. We know he still brings that to the table, but he feel it, there were some people who felt like, well, maybe he's talking down to us a little bit,
Talking down. No, that's not valid. That's not
or
because
or
it's.
or or he doesn't care about the craft.
Oh, that's definitely a lie. So I guess they got to understand the history and know who I am and or what I've done in the industry to understand the full spectrum or get the bigger picture. Um, to talk down on the genre would be talking down on hip hop, and I would never do that. I'm a student of hip hop, grew up in it, been in different facets of it from everything. I couldn't dance. I was never a b-boy now, but I've done all of the other stuff. Every other element. I've done the art. I've done the rapping. I've done the beatboxing, the DJing. I've done all of the
Oh,
elements.
you beatbox?
Oh, I had the beatbox back in the day. Like that was
Can you
like
still beatbox?
nah, I ain't done that in a very long time. But that was I mean it was part of the craft though. Like you at least tried it, especially if you trying to participate in a rap.
Right.
I tried to dance, but I just couldn't. But and there were other people that were better, so I respected them for their craft. But I respect hip hop way too much to devalue any subgenre. Um, Now the reason I don't listen or have not listened to hip hop, I don't listen to a lot of music. I listen to a lot of instrumental stuff, and it be meditation stuff. And this is before Andre 3000 decided to drop his flute fiasco. But I've always listened to music without words and preferred it versus music with words because most of the stuff that I'm doing, I need white noise. I need noise in the background. I don't need any distractions, and words distract. And words like and I'm gonna just throw words out there that's in the front of my head right now. If I'm listening to "fuck with a bitch like me," that's gonna distract me. And I need to focus on what I'm doing instead of like what the hell am I listening to? Or if I'm listening to the cut that you played with Jabs on the mixtape, I'm listening to that will distract me too because I'm like, who is this? There's somebody that caught my attention. So, but for the people that are in the industry that knows me, the industry folks, like they know that when they give me something, I'm going to give my ear first and then my professional opinion to it. Because I haven't listened to other stuff, I'm not tainted. Because I don't listen to your competitors or whatever else is being played on the radio, I'm not that guy that's going to compare you to such and such because I haven't heard it. You're getting my genuine input on exactly what is being played in front of me, and it's based off of 30 plus years of being literally in the industry, being a product of it, but not of it. Because I don't participate in all the shenanigans and the bullshit on that side. But there's a side of it that I did participate in that people also know me that are in the industry. They know that I have a reputation of that side of it. But it's all about advertising, marketing, branding strategy, and of it. That whether I'm listening to the music or not, the advertising, marketing, and branding is still applicable. Like the input that I'm giving is still for you to better yourself. Whether I have heard your shit or the shit that you played a month ago or your album that you dropped, a year ago. If I have not heard it, whatever I'm telling you is still applicable, and you should be applying it to your craft. Like I'm not saying anything to belittle or down talk anybody over here in this genre or gospel rap or trip hop or any of these other subgenres that might come across my desk or come in my email. But I respect the craft. Now, when you are not respecting it, as in when I hear it, and there's not a quality of lyricism there, you're gonna catch it. If there's a very low level of production, are you gonna get my honest feedback? It doesn't matter when I'm listening to it. If it's trash, trash is trash. Now, if they're offended that I'm calling it trash, then don't take offense to the word. Take offense to why I'm saying it, because I'm saying it because okay, your levels in this is way too high on the left, and it should be higher on the right. But don't. But you listening to, man, this is trash, and they automatically cut off. But they're not going back to okay, well, any other input that I'm giving them, your kicks are too high, or your mixing and mastering isn't balanced, or your vocals on this part it sounds like it's a 2-part harmony when it could be a 3 or 4-part harmony. All you gotta do is stack some vocals or get your vocalists to go back in there. If they're not listening to any of that feedback, they listen to I don't like this, and then immediately they're on the defensive when you should be taking all of this as productive and professional criticism to get better. The biggest issue that I take out of all of these people that are giving these feedbacks or don't like my feedback is that my feedback is from an industry professional opinion, and they don't want the industry. But so if you don't want the industry over here, then why are you even tuning in? Because I'm going to give you my professional opinion, but I need to give you the professional opinion because your music needs to be of a certain level. It needs at least to be professional. It needs at least to be on a certain standard to where it's radio playable or at least audibly pleasing. If your shit is peaked too high, it's peaked too high. That's going to hurt somebody's ears, might even blow somebody's speakers if your shit isn't balanced right. But I'm not trying to be that guy that doesn't tell you that. There's probably a dozen people that it got past from you recording it to the time that I'm listening to it and you telling you your faults. Those dozen people you need to be checking. You don't need to be checking me because I'm giving you professional stuff on, bro. If your shit's too high, it's too high. If you got to turn down your music after you just listen to something on the radio and you got to turn down your music to play it in your car, your shit's too high. That's a fact. But you can't submit that to a distributor and then they tell you that your decibels are off and then you get mad at them because, my volumes are just fine. No, it isn't. There's a professional standard that needs to be met throughout the entire industry. Doesn't matter what the genre is. So if they having issues with that ain't on me, dude. That's definitely on them.
No, let me tell you why I'm not laughing at what you're saying.
Uh-huh.
I'm laughing because you came in so hot, you just changed the complexion of the show. So what we were about to do,
right?
Is not now. We are officially Ask Me Anything.
Okay. Well, ask me.
Welcome back to Ask Me Anything. Because I told you that now I kind of in your absence, I've kind of said I don't want to hold our audience over 60 minutes.
Okay.
So to me, I just feel like we can get anything between me and you, me and Chief. We can get our point across 60 minutes or less. If not, we splice it in half because there's so much going on YouTube. Right. I think I'm grateful for people to be saying, "Hey, look at them for 60 minutes." So that's just my thing, or maybe that's the TV in me. So yeah, you just 8 minutes in, yeah, because it's other things that I would like to talk about based off of that. Questions that came from your parents.
Okay.
So
did that answer appease anything?
It's not me that needs to be appeased.
I know, but you think they're gonna be cool with that answer? Because I mean, that is.
I think it's about understanding, and I think everybody should understand that everything ain't for everyone. If you watch a speaker, everything he say is not going to be impactful for your life. It's like a meal. You digest the things that are good for you, and the things that you won't, maybe you leave on the plate.
Right.
I don't think anything that's ever said on this platform is meant to be taken in an offensive manner. I've always said that we're here to do one of the three E's. We've been saying that for years. Mm-hmm. Educate, entertain, or enlighten.
Right.
And if you come to this platform and don't get one of the three, I don't think it's the platform.
Right. Right.
Maybe you came for something else that wasn't educational, music business,
Right.
enlightening, as far as you're looking at grown men, myself, yourself, and Chief,
Right.
or entertaining. One of us gonna give you some entertainment value. So
That's
if you
true.
don't get one of those three, you didn't come here. Maybe you came here for something else. Um,
Well, I've said this for years, and I will apply this to you too. But you're nicer than I am. By the time music comes to me, I should not be the first person that you have ever heard no from. Like I should not be the first objective opinion about your music, because that means that somewhere along the line someone's lied to you. Because no one is putting out perfect music. No one. I can hear shit on the radio today. I hear breaths in Beyonce song all the time. Like what? How did you miss that mixing and mastering engineer? Like I can hear her after she sings. I can hear that. That should never be in a vocal related track ever, ever, ever. But when I hear it, I'm like, damn. This is hip hop royalty, music royalty. One of the biggest songs, one of the biggest people on the planet, one name person that you can name in music, and she's got flaws in her production. So it doesn't just apply to you guys in country rap. It goes all the way to the top. Because when I hear a flaw, I'm going to call it out. That is any negative to anybody. But again, I should not be the first person who had told you no. Somebody, you need to appoint somebody around you to do nothing but tell you no, just so you can get used to it, so that as it's hitting you, it's not as impactful. It's not something that's going to scar your soul to where you got your lips poked out and now you butt hurt. That should not be. There's 350 million people in America. All 350 are not going to like you. All of that is a fact. So you need to start. Matter of fact, most of them are not going to like you. Because if 350 million people was loving Drake, he would be selling billions of copies or billions of streams daily. And that is not the fact. Taylor Swift isn't even doing those numbers, and she's a world act. So you have to understand, everybody's not going to like you, and you have to get thicker skin. And I'm not, again, Vic, like Vic said, I'm not saying anything with any malicious intent. I'm trying to make you better. I'm trying to make you an industry standard, so that when the industry does come over here, and they're coming, you are getting your shit together, or have already gotten your shit together to where you're recording at a certain level, your lyrics at a certain level, your mixing and mastering is at a certain level, and right now the DJing is even getting escalated, and which is another part that I'm loving about it. These are all basic points of hip hop, different elements of hip hop that is being implemented over here. Yes, I love the genre, but no, I don't listen to everybody. I don't. Like I said, I listen to instrumentals. I will listen to that all day. I don't listen. I used to manage Zach Spade. Zach Spade has to send me music and make me listen to it. Even though he would release the shit, and if he out on Spotify and all that, he's like, bro, you listen to it yet? It's like, no, never mind. Look, but then he'll send it to me, and then I listen to it, and then I give him my honest feedback, because he knows that I just don't listen to everything all the time, because truthfully, hip hop is depressing these days. And I'm talking about core hip hop. I can't deal with all this sexism and all the gayness and all of this other. I can't, bro. I'm hurt. And this is coming from an MC, a former MC. That shit hurts my soul. I can't watch these women throwing their titties out all the time. Like, that's so discouraging. Like, I can't do it, dude. I can't do it.
Okay, we're gonna because you just said a very, very key point, and that key point that you mentioned is one of the things. In now, I don't. First of all, I don't want you to. First of all, I know you don't care. I don't want you to feel like I got a barrage of people saying no, no. Actually, 90% of the people who are familiar with the 300 plus episodes of the Country Rap Report are excited. Hurt my goddamn feeling. I'm excited too, because I think now the balance is even stronger in what we bring to the table.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think with a Chief in the mix, what you bring, I just think as a brand, the sky's really the limit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just glad you didn't leave when I left. Like, thank you for staying in there, because I probably would have mailed it in if I were you, but you stuck it through and you kept it going.
I took some things, and I took some things that let me. So I wanted to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Because number one, it gets it's kind of like number one because of the relationship me and you have had for years, the
Right.
dynamic you've had for over 30 years.
Right.
So number one, that was I mean I used to say it like man that shit was like a breakup. You know what I'm saying? Like shit, what the fuck? But then there's some things that I've encountered that I'm like man I ain't even got nobody to talk to about this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and that's been me being completely transparent. A million and one times I wanted to say, hey, bro, I know you ain't fucking with it, but hey, man, how would you blah blah blah? But then the ego part and the don't bother a person with your problems part kick in. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Um, because there's been some, number one, and no one would want to agree with this, I'm sure. But number one, 300 plus episodes ago, we got on this camera and said, we encourage you guys to take your camera and turn it this way
Yeah.
and become the media.
Right. Right.
Did
Right.
we not say that?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Now, I guess no one was listening to that episode. I guess no one was listening to that episode because we're definitely not getting any flowers for encouraging that. But that's okay.
Yeah.
Um, but that's okay. I don't, yes. I don't, you don't have to give me my flowers. I'm gonna plant a flower bed. What I used to tell you, man, forget people giving you your flowers. Give yourself your flowers. Remember, I used to
Right.
tell you that.
Exactly. Exactly.
So it's okay. And the mission never changed. And when you know me, when I start something, whether it makes money or not, if it's something I believe in, I'm gonna stick it out. And I think the genre needs the country rap report.
And that's a fact.
I
That's,
think the level of until someone comes with our level of expertise. This platform will be needed in the genre. We will probably never be the most watched platform. We will probably never be the most popular platform. But I guarantee you, when it comes to the breakdown of music, and I'm not talking about breaking down bars or videos. I'm
right.
talking about this business that we call music. I think we will until someone else comes along with the success ratio, we will be needed if you want
Yeah.
something other than an opinion.
And that person probably has to come from exterior. They can't come
Yes,
from within because the
yes,
level of professionalism that's been within has not been consistent. So it has to be somebody from outside, probably from another genre. That would be my
yes.
guess. But I don't coming from core hip hop, it wouldn't hurt. But core hip hop practices being done in core and country rap is toxic. So but I don't know if they'll ever they wouldn't know what it was happening, but they would just be done on them, and then by the time it's done on them, it's too late.
So, the question I had is,
Yes.
so there are artists who being independent is very, very important to them. And hold on, don't do that. Don't do
No, I'm laughing because there's levels of independence. Like
that.
Meg The
Okay.
Stallion's independent.
Let me say this.
Beyonce's independent.
Okay.
There's
Let me,
come on now. Can we
no,
take?
I want let me ask. This is a question that was asked. I'm glad I'm asking you this question because this is something I got accused of once there was no you.
Mhm.
So now I get to ask you this question.
Okay.
Because I've been accused of being that sweaty palms of the industry. I've been accused of being that commercial guy. I've been accused of being the guy who only cares about money when it comes to the genre. So
Why
it
would they say that? You how?
I've
Who's
been
saying
accused
that?
of huh?
Who the hell saying that? Hopefully you checked them because that ain't some shit that you would just let fly. Well,
No, no,
there's
no. It has I haven't been on a platform and that was said.
mhm.
I've been on platform trying to explain the levels of independence, and I've tried to explain to people that there's nothing free, and for whatever reason that upset them. Like
Right.
I've tried to explain to people that in order to get a good master, and I don't mean master like owning someone, a good mastering of your product,
Right.
chances are that is going to cost you some money.
Yeah. Without a
I've
doubt.
tried to explain that to put your record on DistroKid costs you some money.
Yeah.
If you don't want to go on DistroKid and be amongst the millions and billions of releases, if you want to do Google ads or anything to kind of push you to the top, it's going to cost you some money.
Right.
So, but when I talk these things, or if you want to get if you want to get a song that competes sonically, where you're working with a producer that competes sonically,
Hmm.
it might cost you some money
Right.
because he might want to lease his beats. He might not want to give you his beat on a split because he might know that you only have 500 subs and chance of him making money is nothing.
Right.
So when I talk about these things, there are people who say, I just care about the money, but I care about the fact that it's called the music business.
Right.
And I don't know anyone in the business world who are not here to make money.
Agree.
The person who came up with the great recipe for Girl Scout cookies, I don't think they said we're going to make these cookies to give away free to enlighten the world.
Right.
So I'm glad to ask you this question because now I don't have to feel like that person who's in it for money.
Okay.
There are people who watch this show who feel like you are pushing them towards record labels.
No. That's the question.
Explain that. Explain why. Explain why that's not a valid perception of you.
I'm not pushing them to a record label. I'm trying to get them to think as a record label. The more that they begin thinking as if they have their own product and they have the same leverage as a Meg Thee Stallion or Usher or Rick Ross or I mean all three of those people are independent right now. All three, and they're major artists. Meg just signed a deal to where she keeps her masters. No, like who does that in 2024? She's signed a deal through Warner, which is distributed through ADA. But who does that in 2024? Who does it? The people that are smart. She's thinking as a label. She's trying to get away from Carl Crawford and the stuff that they were doing, and she's trying to keep her product. She's trying to own her stuff, but she's not thinking as an artist. The issue is most of the artists are still thinking like an artist. Artists got to stop thinking like the artist and start thinking like the label. For a label, content is king. And content is everything that you're creating and putting out to the world, or some of that stuff you might not even put out to the world, but whatever you're creating, that's part of the content process. And to jump back on some of the, one thing that you just said, and it's still in my head, whatever producer is giving away free beats, stop it. Don't do that. And here's the issue, and I'm gonna break that down before I go on to the next point. If you are working at home and you're creating this beat, it's taking some time. Now, I'm not saying that you're worth, $50 an hour, but let's just say you worth $10 an hour, right? And it takes you at least 2 to 3 hours to be able to make this beat and do it the right way, break it down in sessions, break it down in little stems, so that whenever whoever gets it next, then they're able to mix and master it properly. You're not doing everything in one little track and then making it long and then making it boring. You're actually adding some input. So let's say 3 hours. That's $30 you just spent. 3 hours, $10 an hour. That beat is now worth at least $30. There is no way that you should be giving away your time for free. I don't care what you're doing in this industry, but as a producer, that's taking time out of your life that you are never, ever going to get back. You should at least be compensated for it. So charge for beats. If they can't take that and respect that part of it, they're charging for their lyrics because they're going to charge to sell this music when it goes up to wherever. So, and you're not going to get any of that. You don't get, as a producer, you don't get any mechanical royalties. You get all your stuff on the PRO side. So you're going to get your stuff at least 6 to 8 months after his or her stuff starts moving. Don't think like that, producer. Get your money when you're supposed to get it. And one, sign a split sheet. Two, make sure that you're doing some sort of you need to do a contract to where whenever they send this to Sound Exchange, they are getting the proper percentages to what you're supposed to get so that you don't have to come back and fight them over it. That's something completely different than a split sheet. The terminology just jumped out of my head for a second, but whenever it comes back, I'll spit it back out. But make sure that you're getting those two things whenever you not lease it, sell this beat. Don't do dumb stuff and try to resell the beat or try to create derivatives of it. Like, give them that product with a contract, and you receive a check for that. Now, in reference to me trying to push the industry is coming. The industry is coming. And when I say the industry, I'm talking about the majors. I'm talking about Sony, Universal, or Warner Brothers. Those three, especially now that Beyonce has stuck her foot in country music. There is a lot more eyes on this genre and the subgenres that are associated with country than there was before. I'm not saying at the end of 2024, starting 2025, that they'll be jumping over here and with 2 feet and being happy about it. But take a step back and look at the scope of things. Jelly went country pop out of here. Like, he used country rap as the leverage it was supposed to be. He used it as a stepping stone point, got these millions of fans that are over here to support him, and he's went up to the bigger genre. Country rap here, you had 2 derivatives to go to. He either had to go country or he had to go core rap. He tried core rap. That didn't work for decades. So why not try to harmonize a little bit more and put some songs together and go over here? So where there's more people that look like him, that would be more acceptive of him, versus rap, where there's not a lot of people that look like him, and they're already going to be combative because they don't look like, he doesn't look like them, and they are not accepting of him. I'm just giving y'all facts. If y'all can't accept any of this, then this is on y'all. But there's a reason why there's a minority of white rappers in core hip hop, and there's a minority of black rappers in country, because they don't really mesh well, and those people really tend, in both sides, really tend to work with people that look like them. So when Jelly starts to go over here and he's deviating from country rap or rap and going over into country, that is opening up a door for a lot of other people to be able to do the same thing. And that playground for that is right now country rap. Like, at the more success Jelly gets, they're going to be looking for, oh shit, well, who's the next one? And where do we go to look? They ain't going to look in rap. They're not, because they don't look like him. So when the industry starts looking for the next Jelly, and if Jelly isn't making the next Jelly for whoever, they are going to come to country rap, and they're going to come and just start pillaging. They're going to, and let me give you a tactic that the industry does. And this is probably one of the biggest issues, and you will know when it is happening, because your music will start getting played on radio stations, and you didn't ask for it to be played on those radio stations. That is the industry experimenting with your record with their budget. They're dibbing and dabbling to see, okay, well, maybe let's see how this works. Let's see how this quote unquote is an industry plant that isn't a plant. This is the industry creating some sort of test mechanism or test scenario to where they want to see, well, will it migrate towards this demographic? Will it migrate towards that demographic? Will it migrate towards these people in this part of the country? Like, these are all tests that they will do, and they will test it with your record, and you won't even know that it is happening. But one, if it has rap in it, it's a pretty good chance they won't do that, because there's no market for you to be playing that, because they're not going to pay to put your rap record by a white rapper on a black radio station. But if it's a country rap record to where you're rapping, singing, and they will put that on country and test it late night markets, overnight markets, maybe early morning markets, just to get the test demographics, to see what the feedback is. And then they'll put it out there to see if any other people are requesting it after that point. Then they'll start looking at the Shazams of it. And then after all of that, like, now you're looking at the science of it. Again, these are music industry perspectives that I'm giving you. Again, if y'all don't like it, I'm not saying you gotta like it, but find the lie. You know, if any of this stuff that you don't like, you cannot like it. I'm not disputing any of that. But if you feel like that I'm lying, come find the lie and then you can have issues with me, but I'm not giving you anything that isn't factual and it can be research from where you are in country rap. Like just find somebody that's within the industry or has the industry knowledge and ask them how things work or how things have been working, et cetera, et cetera. But yes, I am giving you guys my professional input and professional critique. No, I'm not preparing you for the industry. No, I'm not pushing you towards a label. I'm trying to push you to start thinking like business people that own their own product. I'm trying to get you to think like this is your label. This again, yes, this is the music business. This is your business. Yes, and we ain't even got to go to too much in depth in the conversation, but do you have an LLC? Like, this is your business. Do you have an LLC? Are you paying taxes? Like, there's a whole grocery list of shit that I can give on what you need to be operating.
We're not going to I'm writing this stuff down. These are different AMAs.
Bruh, these are, and I'm not saying, okay, wherever you are, if you're in California, don't get an LLC in California. Shit, no. It's like $900 to get an LLC just to prove that you exist. You need to get you an agent that is in Arizona or Delaware or somewhere like that, where it's $50 to get you an LLC, and then you get you one of them mail order addresses that you can have your mail sent to in that state, or have your quote unquote address in that state instead of you paying for your license in California. That is an absolute hell no. I would never advocate for that. But I think the state is just raping businesses, and they're probably just making that money off of the small businesses. But I don't think you need to pay that amount of money to prove that you exist. But everybody else, if in your state that getting you an LLC is affordable, you need to do it. You need to get an LLC. You need to get your logo, because your logo is all a part of your branding. You need to, bruh, don't and make sure that it's something that can be used across different mediums, because this is when your copyrights come into play and your patents, not just for you put it on t-shirts, but put it on cups, put it on everything, not just digital. But again, that's a whole nother fee. Again, ain't none of this shit free, as Vic stated. But as for you to prove that you are a business and a good businessman or woman, like that shit costs too. Like I'm not, this is some issues that I've had since the Blue Montana days. Like, I'm not even for bootlegging Pro Tools. I'm not for any of that. I'm for paying for all of that, because I don't want to, and I'm speaking to the producers now. I'm not cool with you stealing or getting a rip version of any sort of recording software, because now you're putting that energy into your project. And then if you're trying to figure out why your shit isn't going the way that it should be, or maybe it's because the seed that you planted, because you stole the shit for you to be able to create your music. How about you? Pro Tools is like $9.99 a month for the online version or something like that. Go and get that. I don't know. $9.99 might be the wrong number, but I know that there is an online version of it. Put the right energy into your stuff. Start thinking like businessmen and women, and get to the level to where you're at least a legitimate business. Then you need to be trying to think about, okay, well, how am I going to operate as an artist and or producer and or DJ in this space? It's very hard to give you stipulations or rules on what that looks like, because this genre doesn't have the mediums that core hip hop has. Like, this genre doesn't even have the mediums that gospel rap has. Gospel rap at least got radio. You can listen to gospel rap 24/7 on certain radio stations. We may have 2 radio stations.
I don't know of any representation of country rap on the airways.
Not exclusively. There's a spot, I think it's called Yoko Nashville or some shit like that. Young Country Nashville.
It's owned by Polo the Don.
Well, they do country rap segments.
Yes.
And they play all genres.
But I'm not even.
I know it was owned by Polo the Don. That's a good move.
He's one of the owners of, I don't know what percentage, but he's one of the owners of, it's YACO, I think. YACO.
Mm-hmm.
It's the
I
abbreviation.
think it's Yoko, YOCO.
But the abbreviation is Young Country. YO Young Country CO. Yoko, okay. I think. But okay. Yeah, they are basically a station built around young emerging artists. Mm-hmm. But they do put an emphasis on country rap. And then I gotta shout out my dude Kason. over at Kaysen is a Country Rap Report affiliate.
Okay.
Over at Vanderbilt University.
Nice.
He has a hour a week country rap show that comes on Vanderbilt University's airways.
That's dope.
Yeah, shout out Kaysen.
Do the people know?
I've been Kaysen has definitely, me and Kaysen have a relationship. He stumbled upon the Country Rap Report. Actually, he's a guy from New York who fell in love with country rap, who graduated high school, moved down here to go to Vanderbilt, and stumbled on the Country Rap Report, reached out, and how I network. And at this point, he's the first person to do an interview with Jam Wayne.
Nice.
He's interviewed one of the guys you really like. It was a GFT Cowboy. It was one of the gentlemen that you really
Colt Graves.
It might have been Colt Graves.
Ski Mask Cowboy.
It wasn't Ski Mask. It wasn't
Josh Garrett.
No. You ain't gotta guess. Don't guess.
Okay.
Put like this. He's interviewed Jam Wayne. He's interviewed Mike Sons. He's interviewed Big Mendo, and he's also interviewed Colt Graves. Graves.
It was Colt. Okay, cool.
So he's been, but he calls himself at one point in time he was calling himself my protege. But he has the power of FM radio, so he's not my protege. But you can tell by his guest list how we're working it. And he just got promoted to be director of events at Vanderbilt. So there's an opportunity for him to start doing country rap shows. So I always encourage everyone, get to know Kaysen. The name of his show originally was the Rural Rager. And I was like, that's terrible.
Yeah. True.
So now he's changed the name to Kaysen Mack and Friends. The Kaysen Mack and Friends Hour. Kaysen Mack and Friends Happy Hour. But everybody watching this show, y'all please follow Kaysen Mack and Friends Happy Hour. He is one of the only FM radio shows. He is one of the only airwave, not internet radio shows that does an hour dedicated to country rap, and he does it every Thursday. And he is a proud Country Rap Report affiliate. If you talk to him, he will definitely big up Country Rap Report. He's not one of these guys who gonna be like, I don't know who that is. Like he's a solid, and he's only 19.
Oh wow! So he's probably got a long future in the genre.
He's the future.
Yes. Did you get artists involved? Did you tell artists to send in drops? Do they know how important that shit is to
that? I'm not gonna mention. So the Jam Wayne thing. At the time, I had a lot going on, and he asked me about Jam. I told him this guy Jam Wayne is bubbling. Try to get him. He reached out. Shout out to Carlton Banks. Shout out to Carlton Banks, for they made the interview happen. Jack Gaspard, I sent him Jack Gaspard way. Jack obliged. Mike Sons, who is managed by Clint Smith, who does graphics for Country Rap Report. He done the Whiskey Shots cover. Clint Smith is Mike Sons' manager. You're not familiar with Mike Sons, but I played a Mike Sons, and you said, who is that? That was Mike Sons. To me, is the John B. meets Upchurch of country rap.
Have I heard him?
You haven't. I played something one day. You was listening. You like, who is that? And I said Mike Sons, and we didn't get into it.
Okay.
And Colt Graves, which is someone who you heavily favored anyway.
Since day one. He was gonna be special. I knew he was gonna be special.
So he started building the platform in end of the year. He took his winter break, and now those are the 4 guests he's had in 2024. So I tell anybody, please get to know that man. Please get to know that man. He has I'm telling you, that's the future. I feel like one day we're gonna be saying, hey man, we're glad to know that guy.
Yeah.
Because we might be like, hey, Casey, can you get us in that show free? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like he's got that 19-year-old energy, bro. We can't match that.
No.
We can't match that. So he has that fan energy meets that industry energy. Because you got the people who got that fan energy who, when you watch their work, it's that fan energy.
Mm-hmm.
But he has the fan energy meets the business industry. So he's not doing it just to meet people. He's not doing it just to be cool. And we all appreciate when we get the flowers from the artist, but he's trying to build a platform that's going to be around a while. So shout out to Casey Mack and friends. Happy hour. Y'all make sure y'all follow him on the gram.
Yeah.
Before we give away too much, because
I need to make sure that I'm following him.
you're
Go ahead.
probably not. Last thing I want to ask before I want to close out on this.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something me and you talked about a while ago. Whiskey shots.
Yes. Dope
Country
project, by
Rap
the way.
Report. Country Rap Report, in my opinion, has did it again. And I don't like to toot our horn, but I feel like sometimes we have to. The first organized award show, no one's, we took and no one done it since we done it. No one's done it since we done it.
Like you told me, plant your own damn flowers. You don't need them
Hey,
from nobody else.
So, hey, until another one come along, and we'll probably do another one really, really soon. First award show, first 16 bar challenge from a platform, not from an artist,
Mm-hmm.
because most artists do bar challenges. We were the first platform to do a 16 bar challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're the first platform to do mixtape. This is my ask me anything for you.
Okay.
There are artists. Okay, let me and the mixtape is available on YouTube,
Mixcloud.
Audio Mac, Mixcloud, and SoundCloud.
Okay.
All those are 4 streaming platforms.
Okay.
That lets you know that we are not trying to make any money off these people' music.
Okay.
Salute to Pop Out Fresh. We intentionally done the mixtape one track. Number one, because we want people to listen to the entire mixtape, because it's a marketing and promotional tool. Because there are people that you're never going to be heard of on this mixtape.
True.
Number two, we made it one track because we didn't want people going in, downloading that person's song, taken away from their streams.
Okay.
But there are people that we're still encountering who don't know what mixtapes are or don't know the importance of mixtapes. I wanted you to come on Friday when me and Fresh was live, but I would like for you, I want to close this show off on you explaining to artists the importance of their music from a marketing and promotional standpoint to bring on a mixtape.
Well, I think probably the biggest issue is they don't know any difference. So I don't think there's a negative on their part. They're naive to that part. Right now, your promotional vehicles are social media platforms. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, et cetera, YouTube, and for really that's it. Like you don't have radio, not in a wide scale, so that's not a huge promotional vehicle. Mixtapes are supposed to be and should be used as advertising and marketing for what's next, or to get a preview of exactly what is coming around the corner. Most people that have used this in the industry, and we're talking about core hip hop. No, we ain't talking about. We talking about music, period. Because I've seen pop mixtapes, I've seen gospel rap mixtapes. Matter of fact, I just downloaded Jordan's, listened to it the other day. They're promotional tools, and like all tools, you got to use them properly for them to be effective and efficient. For you to do a mixtape, let's say, and let's say I'm gonna throw out Coco. Coco wants to put together a whiskey shots mixtape. Then Coco would give this music to the DJ that is presenting it, and preferably, Pop All Fresh, because I haven't heard a lot of. I don't know of many DJs over here, so I'm gonna just use Pawpaw Fresh. Like he's the only DJ. I know there's other ones, but I'm gonna use him as an example. You give that music to him, and then Pawpaw takes it and chops it up. It's never. I'm gonna play this one song that you gave me, and I'm gonna play it straight through as is. That's never the case. If it's a 10-song project, maybe one song might be done like that, but the other 9 are mixed with other popular songs, or the DJ might create some sort of remix to it just to put a spin on it. But this is to create some sort of appeal or some sort of interest in the project, so that when the project does actually get released, people are like, okay, well, this project's coming. I want to check out the original songs. I want to check out the actual project as it was intended to be presented by the artist. The mixtape gets the audience, at least it's supposed to, gets them happy and enthusiastic about what is supposed to come. Like if I'm listening to a song and Pawpaw Fresh mixes, I Ain't Mad at You by Tupac on there, it's something that generates some sort of interest, same BPM, same whatever, but that interest should carry over to where I want to go and listen to the actual song whenever it comes out. That's what the mixtapes are supposed to do. If you're not doing that, then now you got to rely on, I'm taking little snippets of my song and I'm putting it on TikTok. So you're doing micro niche marketing now. So that little 15, 20 seconds that you're doing out there is supposed to generate people to come to you in some sort of way. And then you're taking shorts for YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, and you're putting them on reels and all that other stuff. Like you're taking the original music to do it. And yes, those streams do equate to money because that's money being played over those shorts, and that's money that comes back to you. But the advertising and marketing part of it, the mixtape is supposed to happen before that. The mixtape is supposed to generate the interest for that. The mixtape is a preview of that. So and I heard 3 people, I think I asked you about 3 people from the mixtape that I hadn't heard of, but when I heard them, I was like, damn, who are these people? And again, this is somebody, you got to treat my ears as if I'm a virgin to country rap. And I haven't heard country rap in a very long time. So when I'm hearing Jabs, I think that's, you told me the dude's name. Jabs. When I heard it, I played it 5 times before I could move past that point. And this was after I was listening to Scram, and I think it might have been 359 or whoever it was, but he was on the song. Scram was on the song. I've been listening to that song. I was like, damn, this is a good record. And then the more I'm listening to this stuff, I'm like, man, I wish there was radio to be playing this stuff because it deserves to be on radio. This is when I'm listening to Scram. But then when I heard the dude on the Drake beat, I was like, this motherfucker here, he got something. I don't even know what he looks like. I mean, dude could look like, Heavy D. I don't know, don't care. But the issue is he got something. His voice is very distinctive. His flow is super easy and real smooth. Like I was thrown back. I was like, this can't be country rap. This must be some rap shit somebody done threw in. But then I hit you up about it, and he's like, yeah, that's Jabs. Like, okay, cool. I want to hear more from him. And then when I listened to Queen of the Trailer Park, I heard it. I asked you who was this chick, and you was like, that's FJ's girl, and I was like, damn, because the shit that I heard from her before, I hated it because I didn't believe it, and I didn't even hear it first. I watched a video, and then when I watched the video, I think I might even comment on the video. You should start rapping, because what I saw did not make sense to me as a consumer. But as I heard this record, and I'm hearing her rap, I'm like, damn, okay, I fucked up. I was wrong. Like if she can go this route, she's got a huge future in the genre. Like not just country rap. I'm talking about all rap, because that lane, that I'm a trailer park, I ain't gonna call him a trailer park kid, but I'm of the trailer and from the trailer. There's so many people. There's trailer parks in every fucking city in America. Like there's so many people that would gravitate towards that just because of that. And again, if that record got radio, she'd be out of here. I mean, I'm talking about way the fuck out of here. Like, but again, I'm gonna go back to the other question you asked me. Is that something that should be pushed so she can go towards that label? Now, let me ask y'all a question. And this is a real number. If a label came to you and offered you $5 million and you can keep your masters, but they just need to be able to, you need to produce records, give it to them on a specific date, and then they push it out to the masses through distribution. And then they put together an advertising, marketing, branding budget behind that. and you would not take the $5 million deal that probably comes with a $250,000 to $300,000 upfront bonus, you would not. This is a $5 million 5-project deal. You tell me you wouldn't take it. I need you to tell me to my face you would not take, because it gives you full control. You keep all of your content, you have everything that you need. You really just need, and then even got to be a label. Let me just switch that up a little bit. What if a distributor came to you that way? And now you definitely can keep all of it. You see, y'all keep thinking about when a label comes and the label is the big no-no and you're no longer independent. That's bullshit. A label has their own task, and so do you. If you can negotiate with that label or distributor that, hey, I want full control. I want to at least keep my masters. And if I don't keep them, I need to be able to buy them out in X amount of years. And that comes out of residuals that's coming out of whatever's being sold, or I got X amount to pay it out, and I'll pay it out with interest. But these are all negotiating tactics. But you guys have this preconceived negative condensation about the industry, quote unquote, that when labels and or distributors start coming over and they start putting money into the project, then you lose a part of yourself. You're not selling your soul. That might be the old, no, that is the industry narrative told by artists that were too dumb to do what they were supposed to have done. And I will use Meg Thee Stallion as another example in that same context. She even got screwed over by her label, but she got screwed over because she decided to sign before she got some sort of lawyer consultation. You never use their lawyer to negotiate for your ass. You go get your own lawyer.
Absolutely.
Your lawyer should be your lawyer. It should not be their lawyer.
Even if you got to use that prepaid legal.
You ain't like prepaid legal would be the default. And that's legit. That ain't for $24.99. $49.99 if you want to get the small business lawyer plan. I know, because I've advised people to do that same thing because they couldn't afford that that retainer for that big lawyer. So go get the lawyers you can get.
Get that prepaid legal, use it, and counsel it.
Exactly. Or if some of them prepaid legal people do want to get in entertainment, and they'll give you a bargain. Or you can, $49.99 ain't shit. If you're making money as an artist, that's 5 t-shirts. You know, get that lawyer, keep that lawyer as long as you can until you start making, 6 figures a year, and then you could probably get another lawyer. But that lawyer is going to cost you another higher retainer and a higher fee. So as long as you can keep that small business lawyer on the prepaid legal side, keep that somebody as long as you can. I'm talking about running dry. Every month you sending in 20 contracts. If that is the part of the contract, then it is what it is. But we got to start thinking, taking a step back and thinking bigger picture, but still having that mentality of I'm a business first and then I'm an artist second. Most folks in the industry, especially the people that follow Country Rap Report, they're artists first and business second. And because they have this negative thing about the industry, the stuff that you guys know or think you know about the industry is all wrong. It is wrong. And it's wrong because the industry wants you to continue to think that it is wrong, because they want to be able to control you as much as possible, as long as you're naive. This platform, that one of them E's was to educate. This platform is put together to teach you so you're not naive. I'm not pushing you to a label, trying to get you to think like you are a label. So when you go into that meeting, you like, I don't think, okay, let me give you an example. They start talking about, well, we're going to keep these masters in perpetuity. Perpetuity means forever, ever, bitch. That means you'll never see them shits. You need to negotiate. Be like, look, I ain't into forever, but what we can do is you can keep it up until a certain point, and to where I can either buy them out or there's a sunset clause, and then and the sunset clause staggers. And this needs to probably happen to your managerial contracts too. If your manager's making 20%, but if you think that you and your manager, it doesn't even matter if you think it or not, it needs to just be in writing. When and if that managerial contract expires and or you terminate it or he terminates it, he or she should not be able to make 20% off of you for life. He or she should only be able to make 20% off of the works that were created during the time that they were your manager. and then it needs to stagger off or sunset, as in go down, go some 20%, and then it goes to maybe 15% in year one, and then 10% in year two, and then 5% in year three. And this is years after the contract has been terminated. So where after on year four, it's down to 0%. So this person is no longer contributing to any of that. And I'm not saying that they would go for it, but it's something that you need to consider, because again, the music industry, period, is based off of them trying to leverage what they have versus what you don't have. And in most cases, in most subgenres, you don't have the knowledge or the expertise or the wherewithal to say that's not right. We are here to tell you what the industry standard is, and you can determine if you want to accept it or not. And then you figure out what is right and what isn't for you. There was never a way that I'm gonna tell you to say take anything in perpetuity. That's a no for me. That contract is dead. And I've said that to many lawyers myself in negotiating. I'm not doing forever. Nothing is forever. Music isn't even yours forever. Music is yours for 75 years after you die, and then it goes into public domain, and now everybody can use it. That is a fact. That is law. So it ain't even ever. So we got to start thinking along those lines of, hey, just be more professional. Just be business people, businessmen and women, and then be artists. And being an artist, and I want us to get the business shit first. Being an artist is something completely different. That's a whole nother AMA, because we ain't even getting the AMA shit right on an artist side, because most of us aren't writing. Most of us aren't copywriting. Most of us aren't registering our shit with the MLC, with ASCAP or BMI. Most of us aren't getting any of that shit. So before you hit me on what I need to do as an artist, get your business together, bitch, because that shit will save your life. It will get your money when the industry does come. And the reason I need you to get your business together, they're going to buy into that. But if you ain't got nothing else to buy into, they're just going to try to come in and strong arm some shit. But hey, I got my LLC. I got my business together. Y'all want some of this? It's going to cost you, because I got my shit together. I've registered all of my works. All of my lyrics are copywritten. Like, you can't just come over here and not give me a check, because I put in the work. And this is the industry work. That has to be the standard. I don't care what genre it is, but because we're country rap and this is the Country Rap Report, the standard is good business. That's the standard.
All right. We're gonna close on that. So mixtapes are important.
Mixtapes are very important, and especially now that y'all have introduced it. The way that you introduced it, it was a carbon copy. Copy everything. If you're a DJ out there, everything that Pawpaw Fresh did in this mixtape, copy it. Like, if you don't want to work with Country Rap Report, and I'm not saying that you have to, and no, we don't have the patent on mixtapes, but if you're going to do it, at least copy it and do what Pawpaw Fresh did. He did with Pawpaw Fresh is a student of hip hop too. And I mean, he got a little gray in him too, so he been around a minute. He know what hip hop is supposed to sound like. He know what DJing is supposed to sound like. Everything about that mixtape was perfect. I wish it was longer, but I was standing around and listening to shit for hours and hours, once it's good project.
60 minutes. Anything that has that Country Rap Report stamp, 60 minutes, where I go to 60 minutes or less. That was the objective of the mixtape. We're about to go over 60 minutes now. But the objective of the mixtape was 60 minutes to get them. We don't feel like we can hold them too long. So all those mixtapes are going to be from 40 to 60 minutes. And we just want to hit them. And kind of like when the Country Rap Report was started, turn your cameras around. Hey, man, we don't have no radio. So let's create. Let's create. And for everybody out there also, before we wrap this up, if you haven't checked out the CD, you can go to SoundCloud, AudioMac, or Mixcloud. All you got to do is type in Country Rap Report. And they will only be there on the Country Rap Report pages. Also, all you artists out there, and this is something Spank don't know. He know we had it. He probably hadn't looked at it lately. Another platform for listening to music is Spotify playlist. And the Country Rap Report playlist is ranked number 5 in Spotify for country rap music.
Dope.
100 songs. Let me tell you the dope part about the Country Rap Report playlist. It's 100 songs, 100 artists. So you're not gonna go listen to the Country Rap Report playlist and hear 10 songs by this artist and 7 by this guy. No, we're staying true to the platform, and we're educating you via the artists, via the music, via the work we put in.
I can't name 100 artists, so shit, that's amazing.
Go check out the platform. And when you check out the platform, I can guarantee, I'm not the platform. Go check out the playlist. I can guarantee you, you check the playlist out, you're gonna hit me with 5 artists that's not on there and say, why you doing it? And I'm gonna have to go take some people off.
Right.
But yeah, it's 100 artists. Your favorite artists are the biggest artists in the genre. They're not so big that they're on there twice. No. If you're on there twice, it's because you're a feature.
Dope. That's dope.
What you got for him before we leave, man?
I ain't got nothing.
All right. Still no social media for you?
Man,
you gotta have an email.
I got the same. I don't want everybody emailing me because then I'm not going to reply. So that I'm not even going to put that out there like that. I don't even check in DMs truthfully, so that will be pointless. I'm really focused on the shit that I'm doing, so I can't. And I'm not saying it in the negative. Again, my ears are fresh. You know, if I listen to something, you're gonna get my honest feedback. And if you're telling me they don't like my feedback, so don't send me nothing because I'm gonna give you my honest feedback. And my feedback is unfiltered. My feedback is not paid for. Like you're gonna get it regardless. Especially if Vic is playing the video or the music on here, it's coming. So you know, you better off sending Vic your music instead of sending it to me because I would prefer that. I would rather review it on camera live. Well, I'm gonna hear it live and then you're gonna watch it whenever the video comes out. But I would rather do that instead of me trying to listen to people in a segregated secret way. Like that's not gonna work for me.
All right. Everybody out there watching, please Country Rap Report on Instagram. Make sure if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit that notification bell, hit that thumbs up. Let us know what you think of the content. And in the comments area, if you have any question you want answered about the industry, we will be doing these AMAs periodically. And when you got questions, we promise to address them the best we can. All we will be doing is addressing them based on our musical experiences. All right? That's all I got, man. The next episode, ladies and boys and girls. Peace.
Peace.
Whiskey shots. I wish I had a shot. Peace.
I've been playing in the creek. Muddy water, baptized, blessed, and I'm bringing that heat. Just let me speak. Yeah, we be putting in work and we about to eat. Ready to feast. Know that they tell you 100 that money don't sleep. It's waiting on me. It's waiting on me. I've been playing in the creek.